Did you plunge the tip?
Plunged.
Wow, it actually brings out this, strangely enough, it brings out this spice with this cigar.
So much.
I was not expecting
Oh,
that.
it's
It's
great.
really good.
You get the sweetness and like the almost stone fruit with the whiskey, but the spice is like, bam.
Describe stone fruit for me. Hello again. Welcome. We're here. I'm not sure why we're here, but you're joining us for the
Whiskey.
tobacco.
Fellowship.
You're
Slow.
It's all right.
Wow, yo, you said it so fast. I had no idea.
It's okay. It's all right.
Be on the ball, man.
And we are joined today by an audience member. Say hello.
Fuck you.
Hello.
What's this? Mrs.
It is
Bellfire over here?
Oh, this is going to be a hot mess. I hope you guys are enjoying our previous episodes, especially some of those My Father episodes where
Yes.
some people got like ripped and was laying in to Eric. which
Well,
is okay.
he deserves it, so
He
it's
does.
okay.
He does.
Give me some wine. I'm all over it.
I know.
Right.
It was great. It was good times. It was good times. That is what she
Boom.
said. So
How are
today,
you doing your job?
we are going to be talking about a multitude of things, but really just comes down to one massive subject. But first, the first thing we're going to start with drinking is...
It's going to be our Foursquare rum today.
Rum.
Dude, this rum is going to be amazing. If you haven't had Foursquare, totally recommend getting you a bottle. You guys can find some. But this is the 2010 version of the Foursquare, and it is going to be fantastic.
Can you say
You know what's
rum
fun?
again, please? Because that's rum.
I did not
Hey, look,
realize
the
that was a
gun.
rum
You didn't?
when you brought it in. I just thought it was some kind of
First
perfect.
sip, I didn't think it was rum until I read it. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah. Okay. And then today, because our subject is cutters and how to cut things and different types of cuts, we are doing.
Too soon.
Lord. We are doing the Oliva V Melanio. It's either in the natural or the Maduro. It's dealer's choice with these guys. I think most of us picked out. What, did you get a Maduro or did you get a?
Maduro, I believe.
No, Maduro or natural.
Oh, Maduro. Sorry.
Maduro. Okay,
Maduro
so
boys.
two
You know-
Maduros and two naturals.
Hey,
Hey.
we're naturals.
We're better.
That's, we are naturals at this.
Swing low, swing
I'm not
chariots.
natural. See, brown, red, not natural.
Oh, good Lord. So
Bald
the
head.
massive subject, the subject for today is cutters. And the different styles of cuts. Wherever my cutter's at, where's my gold one?
Right there in front of you,
Right in front of your face.
Right in front of my face. You know, we'll go over the details of these individual ones in just a moment.
Oh, okay.
I'd like Josh to explain a little bit more about our libation for today.
Well, wonderful. I can definitely do that for you guys.
Can you
This
say
is our-
rum at least 10 times in there?
Well, I'll try to.
Red rum, red rum.
This is a fantastic rum. This will rum tum tum yield pallets for sure. But no, this is the 2010 version. It's going to be 12 years old. The 2010, if you guys didn't know, is when they distilled this particular rum.
You do realize it's 2025, right?
Well, this was bottled in 2022.
Yes.
So that's what. By the way, this is an old bottle.
Oh,
Very old
So,
okay.
so a couple years, probably, what, 3 years now.
Didn't you tell me they don't make them like that anymore, the look of them? Or is that their standard way they make them?
That's the standard way they make it.
Okay.
It might have been a different one I was thinking. Oh, you were thinking of.
You were just wrong.
Yeah.
You're just wrong about the rum.
Well, I was thinking like, because it has like this like it's wearing a pendant.
Oh, this
Yeah, some have pendants, some don't. I think there are 2010 bottles have those. Besides that, most of the bottles all look the same and just have a different age statement on it. That's it.
Yes, and then also some have a particular name. Like one's called Touchstone. Another one's called Covenant. There's a few of them like that. But then there's also the same year they'll have a age stated 2010, 2011, stuff like that. This one is part of their exceptional cast selection. This is from the good old island of Barbados.
Yes.
Barbados.
And then
Come on, Barbados. Y'all killing it.
this brand, Foursquare, they make all of their rum, at least from this, I think 2016, they started adding in some sugar juice, they call it
Okay.
actually. But this is actually made out of molasses.
That's a technical term.
Yeah,
Most of your rums come from like sugarcane and stuff like that. So to have this one come from molasses is a little different than
Yeah.
a lot of different
Well,
ones.
maybe why it kind of tastes has that whiskey kind of flavor too, because I kind of caught that in the front end.
Oh yeah, so this is going to be your bourbon friendly
Yeah,
rum.
I
It
straight up
is-
thought it was a bourbon earlier.
So basically, in the bourbon circles, people like gravitate towards this rum in particular because of its just robust, crazy good flavor. What's also really cool about a lot of their stuff is that they'll age it in different casks.
Oh, nice.
This one here in particular is actually was aged in ex-bourbon cask.
Yes.
So
Nice.
on
It
top of
all
the fact
adds
it's
up.
already
That's what
typically
makes
going to be a bourbon forward rum. That's like almost like a going towards that flavor of a person. This rum here is just fantastic, and it's going to be good.
Yeah,
That's fantastic.
I'm enjoying it so far.
That's why I like Jamaican rums and stuff like that, because they can kind of do more so experiments with different things, because they really don't have any rules bogging them down like bourbon does. And
They live on
other
island
whiskeys.
time.
They can do what they want to, honestly.
Yeah,
But
I know-
they're such a big brand and so highly regarded that they partnered with Foursquare, which is not
Amazing
Foursquare, but
brand.
Barstown Distillery.
you're talking about that one.
They paired with them and did a collaboration with them.
Yeah.
So it's a bourbon they distilled and then they finished in a Foursquare bottle.
rum barrel.
Barrel.
So you elaborate more on what he was saying
Yeah.
For the listeners and viewers. The brand
please say it in a way that we can
Bardstown Company, they made a bourbon. But they do a lot of like collaborations. That's kind of how their whole start was.
Gotcha.
So one of their collaborations was with Foursquare. So again, another one of those things where it's kind of catapulted this name into the bourbon industry. So that's honestly, we need it on the episode one day so you guys can see it. But it is phenomenal because it basically just adds that little bit of sweet rum to the bourbon. But
Yeah.
like I said, it's a really good
Rum.
collaboration they did with Foursquare. But this right here is phenomenal.
Wow.
Yeah,
really
it's
good.
a beautiful bottle. I like how it's detailed in the front with a white label. It has a little golden windmill right here underneath both their logo.
The metallic inlay is gold color, or
Yeah.
not gold, but copper.
Yeah, it's like copper.
Instead of
copper
like
color.
your typical gold or silver. I really like that copper tone.
Right, and I love how they have it where they have the cask type, which is ex-bourbon cask aging is 12 years. Its distillation is a pot and a column blend.
Yes.
And released July 2022.
Yeah.
What I love is having more details. More details on the bottle, the better. So
Yes,
I know what I'm
agreed.
actually drinking.
Yeah.
And
They-
know what you can look for in other bottles. So I like that. I don't like that.
Yeah.
They do a great job, like I said, just building more complexity in their rum with the pot and the column still. You're getting different, variations of how you're, pulling out that alcohol from that molasses. So then on top of that, you're building that flavor again with the bourbon
So good.
cask, finish. And
Yeah.
it is really good rum.
It is, because I remember when you first gave it to me, you didn't tell me what it was.
No.
And I drank it going, man, this is a really good whiskey. And he goes, it ain't whiskey.
Yeah, it was good.
I was like, what?
I literally, the first 3 sips, totally thought it was a bourbon I just
Yep.
hadn't heard of.
Yeah. I think it's
Foursquare's
it's
some good stuff, though.
It's so
It
good.
really is.
And it's also, like I said, it's not even too sweet. Like most rums are
No.
like too sweet.
Agreed. That's
And it's just, it's just the right.
it's subtle.
It's just
That's
right
actually
amount
why
of
I thought it was a whiskey.
Yeah.
It wasn't like overpowering.
Yeah, so like,
Sugar bomb.
it's the perfect amount of sugar. That this is the bourbon I would like. I love. I crave. It's like that little extra sugar to it.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why it's just
And every
a
age
great
time is
go-to.
a different experience too. So
Yeah.
in 2010, it will drink different than 2011. You think they might be close? They could be completely opposite. too.
There's actually a rum bar where we're local here called KO Coco. They have a ton of Foursquare, and so we've done a flight before.
Oh,
Nice.
All bunch of them, and so
fantastic.
already,
I was just in Seattle, and there was a place. Oh, I don't remember the name of it now. I will figure that out and tell our people later. But they had over 100 bottles of rum in their back. It was like a secondary room. You had to ask to be in there. It's like a speakeasy kind of thing. Had to speak the password to get back there. And yeah, they have walls.
That's what I was thinking.
Do that password.
So that's
know
what
all
we're
about
drinking today. Not the actual rum.
Some might.
Yeah, this is a beautiful one. Josh introduced me to Foursquare 2 years
That
ago.
was the perfect time.
Yeah.
2 years.
Foursquare
And-
ago.
Foursquare ago, yeah. What I really like about this one, that unique feature on the bottle, is what looks like, makes me think of an Olympian.
Yeah.
Wearing their,
Yeah.
wearing
The
their pendant and everything. It just wraps around the bottle. I love it. It's a beautiful thing. So let's move on
Yes.
Yes,
to
please.
the El Tobacco. That's Spanglish for
Law
tobacco.
tobacco.
Raw tobacco.
we are all smoking, obviously, the Melanio V, the Oliva V Melanio.
We didn't touch tips.
Touch the tips. Touch the tips.
Cheers. Cheers.
Don't cross
All
our
for
T's.
one,
Don't
one for
cross the
gay.
streams. So Josh and I are doing the naturals, and Garth and Daniel are doing the Maduro.
Yeah, we like
Yes.
them hairy.
Yeah.
Unnatural.
Well, I kind of wanted to say
cheers.
pick your flavor, and I think it ended up the way I kind of anticipated. I'll be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
Because I knew he was going to go Maduro.
Yeah.
I knew Garth was 100%.
all day.
So the interesting thing about this one is I have a very interesting anecdote for Oliva V Melanio, either natural or Maduro. This is the best cigar that goes with Chinese food. I don't know why. It just does.
Okay.
Trust me when I
Chinese
tell you.
food.
Sit down.
So chicken fried rice and a cigar. That's some good.
Very good. Good for your ass.
Man.
If you get me started on these nice Melanio,
Canceled. Anyway.
Exactly. So the things you're going to notice about this one is the typical leather and coffee, caramel, woody
Oh, yeah.
kind of stuff to it.
You like the
now,
woody.
I do. Oh, I just walked right into that one.
So did she.
Good Lord. If you're not laughing by now, just stop tuning
You
in.
should not. Yeah.
Focus.
That's all this
This
is going
is
to
not
be.
your
Focus. Focus.
So the interesting note that we found was freshly baked bread
Who is we?
and unsweetened cocoa. So
Yeah.
that's the one that I think is the pinpoint for the reason I find it to go good with Asian cuisine. Is there something about that dryness to it,
I could see that.
as opposed to you're eating like mugo gai pan or cream of some young guy? Oh my goodness.
Terrible.
Can you slow it down when you say that again?
Say it real slow. Real slow for me.
No, you eat too long. You go home.
Okay.
All you can eat, not eat all you can.
Turn on the subtitles for that last one.
That's right.
You don't want to see those subtitles.
So that's what we're going to get out of this one, and we're all going to do a relatively different cut for each one of them.
Yes.
I'm personally going to do a punch cut on mine because that's my favorite one. I like to do a wide mouth.
That's the
punch.
majority of. I think probably the majority of our favorite is a punch.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I'd agree. And Josh actually has a.
A perfecto. So I got a perfecto here, and then I would going to always suggest you do a V cut on this. Some people will say straight cut. Of course, you can't punch this.
You could try.
You could try.
Unsuccessfully,
awkward.
but you can try.
It's a challenge up to somebody over here to try to do that one day. But my favorite is definitely a V cut.
Okay. And then you're going to go also with a V cut.
Yes, I'm going to go with a deeper V on mine. I got just a regular box press Maduro. I prefer, if I'm not doing a punch like Devin's doing, I'm doing a deep V. I like how it can funnel the smoke more into a certain location. I think it opens up a little bit more, and I just don't like a straight cut as much. That's what I typically do. And what are you doing tonight?
I'm going to be doing a little more advanced V cut. It's going to be a shallow V, but I'm going to be making an X. I also have a box press Maduro here, and I'm going to be doing basically 2 shallow V's in the opposite direction. So they're going to be making an X.
Yes. Which I did that style when I first started smoking cigars a lot.
Yeah.
You did actually. I remember that too.
I did a lot, and I loved it. And it's still one of my favorite types. But since I got into this deeper V, it feels like I don't need to do the shallow double as much.
It sounds like there's a double entendre there.
Yeah, right.
So you've got the Xavier cut, the Professor
Yes,
X cut.
Professor X cut. That's what it is. And it also
It
allows-
adds up with him.
Boom, there you go. No bald head. Horrible back. That's what it is. But yeah, so it basically brings all the smoke again to the center, and it really opens up the whole mouthfeel of it.
The interesting thing about an X cut is it's not akin to a wide mouth punch. It's more akin to the guillotine or the straight cut.
It is.
Because it just keeps peaks of the cap intact, but not enough to be classified as a punch. Correct. The way it operates. And I got to say, I'm enjoying the hell out of this. I always do.
Always.
Oliva V's
Very
Melanios
good.
are just capital cigars.
I remember the very first time I ever smoked it. Your dad gave me one on the golf course.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a good go-to brand that you really can't miss with anything they really have. But as far as talking about cuts, there is places for a guillotine straight cut in certain circumstances. Typically, if I use a guillotine, it's usually to open something up that might be damaged on the end. Like it's not pulling right.
Yeah.
It's not drawn or something like that, or it's too wet. I can cut off with guillotine and.
It's never too wet.
So the interesting thing about exactly what he's saying, the person most likely here today to
Specifically
use
the
one
wetness?
was going to be Josh's stick, being that it's the figurado. So there is a chance that it may be packed too tight and he has to go deeper into the actual conical shape of the tip.
You can only go so deep.
So to go any farther, what you said, actually today I had that issue. I had a torpedo that
Tried to
I
go
had
deep and it didn't work out.
I had I think a stem that was kind of leaking into the cigar and it was giving me a bad taste in my lip.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and took a straight edge and just cut off that little section off that getting past that point, and then just after that point it was phenomenal.
Right, it's just too much.
Yep.
So it's all personal preference when it comes down to it. Now,
Oh, absolutely.
to kind of put a little capstone on this chapter of it, the reason none of us have a guillotine right now or a straight cut is it's pretty, a basic bitch cut, which there's nothing wrong with it.
Right.
There's a lot of necessity for a guillotine, and it is the go-to for everything.
And it's also, I'd say, it's good if you're wanting to smoke half a cigar and you don't want to finish it.
Just took the
just
words out of my mouth.
Go
I literally
ahead
was like,
and get that guillotine and snap it off, and you have a fresh cut and be
Yeah,
able
and
to
when you
relight.
snap that off, I can't help it. It's just here. You want to feel down the edge of the down the edge of the shaft of the cigar as Daniel leans over. Oh my goodness
my
gracious.
thing fell off.
Don't worry about
It's fine,
it.
you can leave
Okay.
it off.
Now there's a sea urchin on her.
Oh, good Lord. So you want to feel down to where you stop
That's a
feeling
shit
heat
show.
on the shaft, and that's where you want to cut off. Because trust me when I tell you, the number one thing you do not want to do is
cut the
let
shaft.
it go out and then go, I'll put it in a baggie and smoke it later.
Oh,
No, you
no,
will
you
not.
don't.
You will want to throw up.
It'll
It's
ruin
that
all
bad.
the other cigars that might be in that bag too.
Yes.
It will. And if you know somebody who does that, they don't actually smoke cigars.
They
Right.
smoke.
They smoke garbage.
Dirty.
And if you do
Garbage.
do that, and we're just telling you now, trust me, this is a better way to do it. Save
Yeah.
yourself a lot of heartache, a lot of money, and it's just easier way to do. Just get one single guillotine cutter and save.
And make sure it's the widest gauge. you
Yes,
can get,
biggest
too,
gauge
so
you
it
can
can
get.
go over the whole thing and just cut it off.
This whole episode is just a that's what she said joke.
Yeah.
The whole
It
thing
really
is.
It is.
all
If
the
you-
innuendos.
If you have the what's it called, the laugh track of a 12-year-old, then
cheers
you're
real quick.
killing
Yeah,
it.
let's
Cheers.
Gombe.
Gombe.
Prost.
Come by.
Speaking of Chinese food, that's why I want to throw it out there.
Appreciate that. So we've got the guillotine, the straight cut, which pretty much everybody has. These are the ones you get out of there. I'm going to go a little bit into the punch. Now, this is a device a friend of mine a while back introduced me to, and I bought one. It's wonderful. It's got the standard punch on this side. Now, there's usually about 3 gauges of punch, which you can see on this kind of punch right here, which locks out. This one's the super small, this is the medium, and this is the wide mouth. This one device that I'm holding here has the medium and the wide mouth. I particularly like wide mouth because it's like you get all the greatest
Right.
of a guillotine cut and a punch at the same time, especially for caps breaking and things like that. Because that's one thing you'll notice about some cigars is if you go to punch it, there's either 2 factors if the cap breaks. 1, your punch isn't sharp enough.
Right.
Or 2, they tightened that so tight that it didn't matter what you did. It's going to pop. You could literally take a needle and stick it through and it's going to
Yeah,
pop.
it's gonna pop.
Yes.
Which means it's not done correctly.
Right. And these tools are easy to come by. He got his, I think it was off Amazon, right?
Yep.
This one's also Amazon. It's a different style. This one twists up to reveal the punch on it, which is good. I like that one, but I had the same one as Devin did, and it wound up coming undone, getting loose in the pocket, and got tired of that. And this one is more of an enclosed one. So you unscrew the end of it,
Nice.
and it pops in and out.
Yeah.
But it's a great multi-tool. If you don't have one as a cigar smoker, they're great because they also have a skewer on the end.
Ask if that one had the skewer too.
And also, if you, like me, and smoke the cigar down to the very last end, it has a like a
Nice.
corn on the cob, I like to call it,
That's exactly what it is.
poker, and you can
Roach
smoke
clip,
onto the
a
nub,
Roach clip, a
the nubber. But they're well worth the money. Great
They are.
investment.
They're about 20 to 30 bucks.
Sometimes less. I think I got mine for like $16.
But hopefully at some point we'll have them on the online store so you can
Ooh.
purchase some. I'm working with some people to get some custom made ones.
Oh,
Nice.
Nice.
Very
And
nice.
that'd be the ideal way to go.
Yes.
So the V-cut, as you can probably imagine, It's exactly what it sounds like. It creates a channel, a V channel down the cigar, and you have the difference between a shallow V and a deep V. Now, the thing that I've noticed, I'll be completely honest with you, is the cheap ones are usually shallow, the expensive ones are usually deep, because people usually just use the deep V every single time. It's honestly the better choice.
Yep.
I have found very few people that use the shallow on purpose. They usually use it because that's what they have.
I usually use it just to do a double V.
Right.
That's the only time I do it, because doing a deep V double is, you ruin the cigar. It destroys
Yeah, it ruins
end
the
of
cap. Yeah, it just all
It
falls
just
apart.
destroys it.
Yep.
And then we get back into it is I still don't feel like I'm drinking rum at all. Like,
Oh.
but when we come back, we'll discuss a little bit more about what's going on, and as we get everything situated. So,
Hello, sugar.
So glad you put that
Oh,
under your
good.
leg.
so we'll see you guys in just a few moments. Are we back?
Nope.
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, that's your back.
They keep telling me to watch my back, but I can't see it.
We all know you can't wash your back. You can't
I
reach
got
that
your
far.
back. I got your back.
Oh my.
All over it.
But we were last speaking about was the tasting notes of this rum.
The tasting notes of the rum, yes.
Yes.
So the only thing I've noticed, like that classic rum flavor, is only like right at the very end. That's what makes this so good.
Let's get that nose. Let's see what everybody thinks about the nose and what you get on it. Let's see what everybody gets. I tend to get like a banana,
I got a little
Yeah.
butterscotch.
Oh, I definitely got banana.
like an overripened banana, mixed with like that molasses, dark, deep
you're
sugar.
going to get that deep sugar, you know, very, very caramely taste.
That's where I'm getting the butterscotch,
Yeah.
that real caramel.
Yeah.
Man.
Is that what you got,
The
Eric?
nostrils.
That's what I got, George.
Ba-dum-ching.
Oh,
See, I,
It's like
kinda,
that-
I really like that sweetness that you get from that molasses. Almost, again, maybe a little
I'm good
smidge
then.
on the oaky, and then together, they really just kind of pair together really well. You're going to plunge your tip?
I already did. I
he's
plunged
pre
it.
he's pre-plunging the tip.
Pre-plunging. So I put a little bit of water in mine because I wanted this taste. It
that's
opened up
fantastic.
just a little bit. You know?
Speaking of that, though, because you're watering it down, is that this? I think we didn't say it, but it's 120 proof.
Yeah, I can
But
taste
it,
this.
but it
already.
really
It is
doesn't. But honestly, it doesn't drink like 120 proof. I've had a lot of
No, it just
120. and
burns
it's
like 120 proof. I can
Yeah,
taste
yeah,
the burn.
you get a little bit of that mouth.
Yeah,
feel.
This has a lot of that stone fruit and that softness of the sweetness, where it kind of kills that overly alcohol.
You know, the
burn.
water. Oh man, I'm
Yeah.
telling you, big difference.
Yeah, it'll free it up.
Yeah.
So what's really cool is why again, like, it's a bourbon forward. I mean, it's a very friendly rum for a bourbon
Yeah,
drinkers.
if
because
you're
of the
a
proof.
big bourbon guy and you want to get into the world of rum, try not to start out in the Captain Morgan, the basic
Bombay.
bitch stuff,
No.
Bombay.
Run.
You want the higher
You want that
higher
Bombay?
stuff bourbon.
Can I put that Bombay?
Now there's other rums out there that are not as expensive as the Foursquare is, and not as hard to find.
You got any honorable mentions?
I just got one for Josh.
Okay, so one is Plantation.
Yes.
They make some pretty good rum in general. I've gotten one just recently that was a cast strength one, so I just happened
Ooh,
to see
nice.
that.
Yeah.
So honestly, if you're going in there and you're a whiskey, especially a bourbon rye drinker, look for a cast strength rum.
Yeah.
They're very not as common, but if you can find that, that's probably going to be closer to that same palate.
Yeah, and another one I found is a Kirk and Sweeney. They have a cast strength Kirk and Sweeney. It comes in a
Remember
rounder
Sweeney?
bottle, has like burlap rope around the top of the neck of the bottle.
And it's
With hook on top.
almost like a
Like a little cannonball.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Have I seen that?
Yes, you've had it too. You've had it in the Tuscaloosa cigar shop when we were down there one time. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, they're really
man.
Yeah. It's fantastic. It's easy to find. They have different variations too. They have a cask strength, the normal, and like an exo cask one too. That's like a even more special.
Yeah.
But yeah, just kind of if you can find someone, like go to your local rum bar and talk to them and see what their recommendations are. A lot of times you'll find something that's a hidden gem that might be cheap and easy able to get, but flavor bomb.
Yeah, there's one by I want now to be I think it's Roaring Fork, and they actually
It's a great name.
sourced Foursquare to make their rum.
Oh.
And they actually aged it in like Kentucky Owl, I think, barrels and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
So
If you'd like to see a review on a Kentucky Owl, check out the St. Patrick's Day episode.
Top of the morning, W.
nice plug. Anyways, but there's a lot of.
Daniel doesn't know about plugs.
Oh God, I'm glad I'm posting this as well on Rumble because it's just going to get canceled.
Canceled. Just
Hey.
canceled.
But what I was trying to say though was that Foursquare, their brand sources a lot. They'll give their stuff out to people who are sourcing stuff.
Yeah.
So you can find a lot of cool source.
Oh,
products
we even
from-
met a guy that actually went down doing picks with Foursquare.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. Down
He
there
actually
at
went
Riverside.
down to Barbados and did picks.
I actually
Barbados Slim.
So Roaring Forks, and I have another one that I can't remember what the name is of it. But again, there's another source
Roaring
from
Fork.
Yeah, roaring.
Roaring
is in
Fork,
like,
I think. Yeah. So
yeah, like a lion roaring and a
yeah,
stab.
I think it was called
Step.
Wow.
Wow.
Step.
that kind of roar.
So I wanted to see. I just figured out something with this Oliva because I was like, some of the notes are woody caramel,
Yeah.
and I get the woody and the dryness, but I wasn't getting the caramel until I held it in my mouth and like
You didn't
forced
get the
myself-
woody until you held it in your mouth?
Yeah,
Damn.
the caramel.
So you didn't cream it until you held it in your mouth. Well done.
Oh man.
You said it. I'm just confirming this is what you said.
These guys. I swear. Can't have a adult conversation about cigars and whiskey.
You the one talking about adult things over here, butt plug?
Butt plug never came out of my mouth. It only came out of yours.
I think it was the Peanut Gallery actually.
Yeah, it was. That's who it was. That's who said it. That's right.
Yeah.
So
About you.
really try to hold the smoke in your mouth to try to get those caramely
Yes.
flavors, especially on the sides of your tongue. We're going to get it. Now, if you're new to cigar smoking and you're looking to step up, the MSRP on this thing is, and I'm going to say this, is unfortunately around $18.
Yeah, they've gone up in price.
They have gone up in
Significantly.
That's probably because
they
they've
are
gotten
good.
so popular, everybody really has
Yeah.
dived deep into them.
price. But let's say you're new to cigars. You've tried a Connecticut. Your friend's trying to tempt you to go to a Maduro.
Do
and
it.
It's good. It's good.
Or a Skuro.
You want to do something expensive, but you don't want to spend a $50 or, something stick. 30, something like that. This stick is going to be a great way. Go the natural route first
Yes.
so you can get kind of the notes on it, because from what I've noticed with the natural versus the Maduro is they are almost the same, except that one's darker and bolder.
Yeah.
Which I know sounds like a contradiction because it's Maduro, so it is darker.
You just get those heavier dark woods and tannins in there.
Cedar, yeah.
Cedar, almost like a campfire
Yep, right,
pepperiness to it. That's what you get with the Maduro. But it's not far off from what the natural is, honestly. The
Right.
natural themselves is less Connecticut than probably anything else out there.
right. Well, it's
More market
Ecuadorian
sun grown, like
rum,
yeah. It's definitely
sun
there. You can't miss with any version of it, honestly.
The Sumatra leaf in the thing is what brings out that tang in the flavor
Yep.
that complements it really well. And the reason I say that these two are almost exactly the same except one's darker is on a previous episode we did an El Rey del Mundo
Yes.
Oscuro,
That's so
which is
good.
really, really dark. And then I think it was Daniel and I, or it was us, I cannot remember at the moment. It's one of the first or second episodes. We did an El Rey del Mundo Classic, which is more of a Habano. And
Pretty
those,
sure that was the.
I think it was y'all,
that
yeah.
I think it
wasn't
was
mine.
us.
yeah, so that cigar is radically different from its Oscuro counterpart.
Yeah.
Whereas these two are not radically different.
No,
No, they're
not
very-
at all.
very pretty close.
Similar.
Yeah.
Very similar.
And that's honestly a mark of quality in what you're getting. It's the reason this line is so good and so very good with Chinese food.
So is the natural about the same price as the Maduro one?
Yes, yeah, they're about the
they're
exact
about-
same
I think
price.
it's
I
like
mean,
a couple
change.
bucks off.
So if it's a couple bucks off, you might as well just try both, get both, and then see which one you prefer.
Call it a day.
I'm curious what you saying that. I wonder if that EP Carrillo is they have the Encore and they have the Encore Black, which is the Obscuro of that.
Yes.
I'm curious on how side by side or smoke one after the other and see how much.
Yeah, because they are very similar, but I think that Encore Black is heavy. It's a dark
And
cigar.
just to give context to this, you would have to be really seasoned a cigar smoker to be able to tell the difference between some of these things. First starting off, you're not going to be able to tell the differences outside of the ones that are just night and day different.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the same
Yeah.
thing with everything. Like even with whiskey, it
Yep.
takes forever to okay, this tastes like alcohol, ethanol.
It's like drinking your first beer as a teenager. It's like it's just trash, and then just slowly
Right.
snowballs into
It's like I'm chewing
Freaking love IPAs.
alcoholism.
And so we'll do an episode about your beginner cigar smoker, beginner libation drinker,
Yes.
and like you're not going to purchase this for a beginning person. You're just not going to be able to appreciate
You
it.
could. You just wouldn't enjoy it. As
Right.
much.
You
Yeah.
would. And there are some people out there that drink solely rum and they don't drink anything else.
It's true.
And if you haven't heard this before, but if you're drinking rum, you probably have. But if you haven't, this is definitely a go-to. I highly recommend going buying it.
If you could sit down at somebody's house, like one of these two that have a large collection, and they can go, here's a Captain Morgan's, here's this Foursquare. You'd sip on one and then sip on the other, and
One's
night and day.
One's going to taste like just pure sugar, and the other one's going to
Yeah.
have complexities.
Yeah,
that-
you wouldn't
that
need to know
blow your
anything
mind.
about libation at all to know which one was the good one.
Right.
At all.
Yeah.
I mean, even within their own brand, they even have like a huge variety of their stuff. They even have I don't know if it's like it's the same company, but it's like kind of like Middleton, where Middleton Irish whiskey has like Redbreast and also Jameson underneath the same umbrella.
Boobies.
But Foursquare has Foursquare, but then they also have Dooley, and it is they're lower
So
end
not
line.
the truck.
No,
Yeah,
not
Dooley.
Dooley. I think it's like
Dorel something. It's just spelled very strange.
He can't spell.
Is it Irish? I thought it was.
No. This is of course rum. Dooley is a rum. So this is the Foursquare rum.
An Irish rum.
Sure.
I just wanted to talk like this.
But
Like
again,
a
so it's a lower end brand, but it's like,
We're talking
like I
about
said,
leprechauns.
it's so much sugary than its counterpart, even in the same factory, even in the same distillery.
Wow.
It is night and day. So like
Yeah.
again,
Yeah, it's
you
like
know.
getting name brand and off brand cereal.
Yeah.
Might be the same, but might be taste a little different.
Cereal was it? What was it?
That was a
What- yeah.
weird.
Well, I'm just saying. A lot of people or if you buy your brand name cereal,
You were thinking of Lucky
like
Charms.
Fruit
You were
Loops.
thinking of Lucky Charms.
No, like Fruity
why
Pebbles,
you
stuff like
said
that. They have a store brand version of
These are
that
Cocoa
same
Puffs.
Fruity Pebbles. It might cost less, but it's made at the same factory.
figured
But
it
just
was
might, a lot of times will taste different.
I don't buy the Lucky Charms. I buy the sweet treats for little people. That's the off-name brand.
Man, we're so off track. It's not even funny.
Oh, it made me laugh.
Well, should we
like
punch
to
the
call
tip?
Plunge the tip.
Plunge it.
Tip.
Plunge the tip.
I
And then
was early.
I'm actually excited for this because
Oh yeah, I did it earlier because I really wanted to do it. I didn't realize we were all going to get to do it together.
Oh,
It's fantastic. Did you plunge the tip?
wow, it actually brings out this. Strangely enough, it brings out this spice with this cigar.
So much.
I was not expecting.
Oh,
That
it's
is
great.
really good.
you get the sweetness and like the almost stone fruit with the whiskey, but the spice is like, bam.
Describe stone fruit for me when you say that flavor profile.
That was like a plum, like the
I need to get you a stone fruit. You
apricot
need to try
stuff
it.
like that.
It's really good.
It's darker fruits almost.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the interesting perspective is, have you noticed any difference in doing a crosscut, Daniel, than what you normally do?
Honestly, no, not in this particular cigar. This one would probably do better on one of the smaller ones.
Yeah. He's got
This-
the double Toro.
I have the double Toro, so it's a little bit bigger. It really does about the same as the deeper V.
Yeah.
And like you said, if I'd have done anything more, it would have destroyed the cap.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to go any deeper. So yeah,
And
not
you've got-
really.
You've got a very interesting perspective again because you've done two plunges. Did you notice any difference in the second plunge?
Second plunge actually brought out far more. I actually am going to do a third plunge before I stop. I am. I'm gonna do it here in a minute to see if it brings out anything different.
I'm
because-
still getting spice
Oh,
off
know
this
it
thing.
pulled, whenever you said spice.
Was not
Yes,
expecting
100%.
that.
Being that we weren't all talking about it, I wasn't going to say
You
it.
would
But
have
yeah,
thought
it was
with
crazy.
rum, it would be sugary.
Yeah.
The caramel would double, but it
No,
doesn't. It
no,
is spice.
no, it's-
I think because you have that spice that's in that rum, just like we have with the scotches we've done previously.
I love scotch.
Like it is
Like a-
only
Scotch, scotch,
enhances.
like a cinnamon almost.
Yeah,
Dare
because
I-
this one's
oh,
not
yes,
too overly
the cinnamon.
sweet.
Yes.
Because not overly
Nutmeg
sweet like a
as well.
bourbon
Yeah.
is.
Oh,
Dare
yeah.
I say that change of flavor goes to the honorable mention, the Camacho Candela. God rest
Oh,
your
God
soul.
rest your soul.
We miss
One
you.
went out for the homies.
Yeah, born out for your homies.
Pour it right into my mouth.
That's what she said.
So,
So good.
some honorable mentions for, oh my goodness gracious. That's,
That's so good.
I know, it just
So
stops
good.
me in my tracks.
Yep.
Is There are other ways to cut cigars that are a
Wrong
little,
ways. I'm just kidding.
Well, I'm prone to agree with you, but I have yet to try this. I know it sounds weird, but there's the bite off.
Oh, I have a fun story about that. I'll tell you about that. In a minute.
So there's the bite off. There's a lot of guys that literally just front teeth, and they don't pull. They just and bite it off themselves.
They got
Kind
sharp
of
teeth.
like self guillotining. Insert joke there, and
That's how you become a priest.
that's right.
Jesus.
Then there is
Ugh.
just the pencil push, which is basically you can take a matchstick or any kind of needle, and that's all it is. It's pinhole, just a pinhole.
Which is awful.
That sounds horrible.
That sounds awful.
We've actually done that with the Eye of the Bull. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. So that one is a
Why?
rare one to do it
Why?
because that's a great question, Daniel.
Thank you.
The Eye of the Bull, it's a little short guy. It's probably 3
That thing's like
inches.
7 inches to me.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but that,
Well, this is a Chinese 6-inch, but an American,
8 inch.
2-inch.
Oh, sorry.
But the Eye of the Bull
Wife's been lying to
actually
me this
has
whole time.
a dip of flavor dot right on the tip of the cigar.
Yeah.
So you don't want to cut that off. You actually want to
Oh, so you
only
actually
do a
want-
pinhole.
That's crazy.
I just
You know
don't
what I'd
feel like
love
you
to
get
do?
enough draw out of it.
You surprisingly do.
Yeah.
It's strange.
Okay.
I encourage you to try it.
Okay.
And especially with the Eye of the Bull,
Okay.
you definitely want to do a dip on it when you're about
Okay.
halfway because it'll pull the flavor right out of it.
Oh.
A lot of people say that little dot is like a marshmallow flavor they put on it.
Nice.
So when I did it, I of course did the same thing. I had my little skewer and I put a little hole in it, and it was phenomenal. But it did at one point kind of built up and I couldn't draw anymore. So I had of course cut it after that. But
Right.
I think that's with any kind of like small cut you're gonna do with a shallow V on a torpedo or something like that. Is that sometimes is that it's that the tobacco kind of pulls all that in, and you
does.
can't, your draw is clogged up at that point.
Yeah.
Right.
So you have to then reopen it up with a deeper
spear.
V or a straight cut.
Yeah.
No, you can try the spear
Or a
too.
spear,
Yeah,
spear.
I say I've used the spear on things like that
And you
before.
can use the
just-
spear on this end, on the ash
both-
end as well.
both
You
ends.
kind of open it up. And another technique I teach people when I go, only if you're pretty seasoned with cigars, is you can gently roll and kind of like crunch
Yep.
and change the
But
flow.
try not to do too hard. You will destroy.
You will
the
destroy your
rest.
cigar.
Very lightly, especially in any tension spots you feel, because it's essentially you're pulling through a tube, and the tube's gotten clogged. So you're trying to like compress the tube in different
Yeah.
areas to open up different veins.
Yes.
Before we get too far, I went to the islands. We were on a cruise and we got off, and I bought some cigars. I got off. I did the boat, and there was this guy that had parrots, and he was letting people get pictures of these parrots. These parrots. It was. But this probably wanted a cigar. I put my cigar in my mouth just to take the picture, and the damn parrot came down and took a bite out of the front of my cigar. And I looked at the dude and I'm like, "What the heck, guy?" So I didn't pay for the pictures. He did it again. So I intentionally gave the parrot the other side of a different cigar, and he cut it for me. I let
So
him
you had-
bite.
you had a bird cut cigar.
I had a parrot give me a deep V cut.
How
on
clean
that.
was it?
Oh, perfect. It was perfect.
Wow.
It barely had any.
I wish you had taken a picture.
I have pictures. that you can put it on the podcast. I'll send them to you.
Nice.
I have a you can't see the cut on it, unfortunately, but you can see me. I'm just holding two parrots. One's on my head, one's on my arm, and I have the cigar in my
a
mouth.
nicotine addicted parrot.
It was awesome.
Sounds like
awesome.
something out of a B-rated Disney movie
Good God.
from the 30s.
X-rated Disney movie. I don't know what you're talking about.
Pirates of the Caribbean 8.
I was about to say Pirates of the Caribbean, like something like hey, I need a cut. Hey,
Yeah,
really? Can you-
No, I literally had it in here. I just said, "Come here," and the bird was right there, and it just took a bite right out of it, stuck it in my mouth, and they took the picture.
That's beautiful.
Well, we're about like past the first stir, almost to the halfway of the cigar. What is everybody's first appreciations of the notes and what they're getting in the cigar?
I'm getting a lot of leather at this point, especially now it's even spiced. And
Yeah.
I like your note, a cinnamon. It's like a cinnamon
Yeah.
leather out of it, which I'm really appreciating.
And it
Is
pairs
our,
perfectly with
is
the
our
wine.
audience
Oh,
member
wow.
detecting anything interesting?
Tobacco.
Tobacco. Okay, good.
It's real smoky in here.
It is smoking here, but you're right. I do get that almost like a dark cedar, sawdust, almost like a campfire too. Like it's very similar with most Maduros. You're gonna get
Yeah.
that dark spiciness to it,
Puts hair in the chest.
but it really hasn't gotten like super spicy yet. It might get a little bit more spicy the farther we go down, probably in that last third.
I'd say
Typically
right
when it
about
comes
there.
out,
Yeah.
like he's a little farther along. He's killing it right now.
I am.
That's the reason I chose the Churchill for you and I, because we smoke so quick.
We do smoke quick. We are terrible cigar smokers. We don't enjoy
They
it.
inhale it.
We've got a regular at the local cigar shop that I'm telling you, I remember him sitting down in the shop and he had a normal Toro size Padron Black. He was there for 4 hours.
Did
and
you
I'm
fall
telling
asleep with it 3 times in the
no,
mouth?
no, not that regular.
Okay.
This is a different one, and I'm telling you,
It's the only
that
I've ever
man
seen.
knows how to pull every ounce of flavor out of his cigar. Because I'm telling you, he just barely puffs every once in a while, and he goes, "This is the most amazing thing."
I think that's why I've gotten so fond of Lanceros now, because it's forcing me to slow
love
down.
Lanceros.
It's forcing me to slow down and take my time and enjoy the cigar.
Yep.
Instead of feeling like I have to win a race, which I'm not. I'm just. It's like a creature of habit, like this. I don't even recognize when I'm doing it at times where it's like I'm overdrawing the cigar. Like
Yeah, and
slow
that's where
down.
GTO Oscar
Your
told
moms
me.
didn't breastfeed you enough? You just have to
No.
just, like, put things
It's all
in your mouth?
natural, baby.
That's where GTO Oscar told me at one point.
About his
Yes,
breastfeeding?
yes. Every once in a while, when you put it up to your mouth because it's a habit, blow out of the cigar instead of pulling in. It slows your pace
Blow
down.
your cigar. Got it.
All right, so if we had to rank a cut on the table of all the cuts you can do to a cigar, what is your top 3 cuts?
Well, my go-to for sure is the V or the wide mouth punch. If I had just the only one in my bag forever, I mean, I would probably go with the V because of the versatility of it. But I think my favorite is the wide mouth punch.
I'd agree with that. I'm in the same boat. I would have this tool, and that's it. You wouldn't see me with anything else except the wide mouth punch.
I would have the deep V and the tool as well, the punch as well. But I would also carry that straight cut just for the versatility of that, because you have to have it in your bag. If you don't have it in your bag, you're doing something wrong.
No, you nailed it on the head. That's exactly what I was going to say. Is the deep V first, the punch, any version of the punch
Yes.
is going to help. Having like your multi-tool with all 3 is ideal because you don't know the size of the cigar. You don't want that wide one for all of them. Some of the smaller ones you could use the small, and then
Exactly. And when we come back, we're going to do the honorable mention of the last one, which isn't on the table. And we'll go through the pros and majority of the cons with it.
Yep.
Oh,
yep.
yeah.
I'll be completely honest with you. But we'll be right back. Okay. So
So loud.
we are drinking the Square 2010 rum. We are smoking the Oliva V Melanios, Naturals, and Maduros.
Yes, sir.
We have gone through the V cut, the deep V, the small mouth punch, the wide mouth punch, the pinhole, the
Yes.
guillotine.
Guillotine.
Is it guillotine or guillotine?
I think it's both.
Okay.
Depends on the nationality of which you want to say it, because French versus
Depends if you're a
English.
queen or not.
Exactly.
No one lose their head now. That's a funny joke, I know it.
Oh, good.
10 points for that one.
Points to Gryffindor.
Oh Lord.
Cut it out.
So
Cut it out.
the honorable mention is something called a shirkin cut, and you
I
can
don't know if
buy
you're saying
these.
that right, but go ahead.
The
gotta say
interesting
it
thing
fast.
about it is I found them in 2 different ones. There's only one manufacturer of them.
Yes.
They come in 2 different versions: a plastic version and a metal version.
There are plastic shurikens?
There are, yeah. Didn't you ever have a Ninja Turtle set?
Yep. Fair enough.
Touche.
The plastic version is a piece of garbage.
We know you
Do
said
not
it.
waste your money on it at all. The metal version is much better. The reason you're talking about is the shuriken has 5 blades in it. They're angled at about, I think it's a 20-degree angle. I don't have one up here with me, unfortunately. And so it's a circular device that goes on the end of your cigar. It doesn't really work for figurados and things like that. It's really just for normal wrapped cigars. And you just press it into the cigar, you wiggle it a little bit, not too much, and then you pull it out, and it leaves 5 slits on it in which to pull. It's supposed to do a lot of things. I have never been able to successfully use one because if the cigar's packed too tight, it doesn't work. If the cigar's packed too loose, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it's a gimmick.
It
I
is.
own one, and I've probably used it about 12 times, and I've had to guillotine cut it every single time after trying to.
Like
Oh,
in
that
principle,
sucks.
I love it for it to work.
Yes.
because it sounds interesting. Because it's a new variation of a cut cigar that we haven't had before. but it's got to be perfected. I think there's more research and development needs to be put into that.
I had an old producer on a show I worked on who said he got it to work and he loved it. I don't believe him.
Sounds like crap.
I don't believe him. I don't think he ever got it to work correctly.
Fucking liar.
But it is a nice honorable mention because if you can get the chance to try it out, try it. But the unfortunate price tag on one of those is way too high to ever buy one.
Really?
Yeah. The latest I've seen, I think you can get them on Amazon for $30 and in the store for $40.
Not worth it.
No.
Just go with your standard V cut or straight or punch. You know,
If you're
whatever.
ever in a store and you want to try it and you see they have the metal ones, go, can I try it? I don't want to buy it.
Yeah.
And then you will never buy one.
It's definitely a try, not a buy.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And then the one of the, not the last, but one of the things I did want to go over is the perfect cut. Do you know what I mean by perfect cut?
I think you do. I think I do.
Yeah.
You?
Yeah, I do. I
Yeah, it's called circumcision.
It can be.
La, da, 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 da. Anyway.
Anyway, so the perfect cut is you take your guillotine
Hey.
and instead of holding it and then trying to level your cigar out, you
It'll
put
never
it,
be straight.
It'll never be straight. You put it directly on the table,
gay.
take the end, you're right, put it on the end, and then close it right around it, and it'll give a perfect cut at the perfect depth at all times. Now this one that Mr. Garth brought has a pretty large body on it,
Yeah.
which means it's going to dig in deeper.
It's going to dig in deeper.
But if you see the cheaper, flatter plastic
good job
ones,
copying.
it'll be a little bit less, which is fine. But it's a perfect cut. And the thing with guillotines, and most with all of them, is if it's not sharp,
It's
gonna
just gonna
suck.
it's just gonna crush your cigar. That's ultimately what it's gonna do.
And then another terrible mention. You remember the one you bought, you and I? The
Yeah.
Oh my God, this was terrible. So if you ever see one that's got a single blade and the
Oh.
blade is angled,
Oh,
but there's no other blade on the other end, never buy
it would
those.
just ruin your cigar.
Yeah, Josh and I got some of those, and I'm telling you, it just squishes it and cracks it. It's
It was
terrible.
so sharp. The one I had was crazy sharp. Still didn't cut.
Now you do have some guillotines that are like this one, but cheaper and flat, and they have a backing on the back to where you can't go through.
Right.
Those are great to get a straight flat cut. They're not good for
Cutting
chopping off
everything
your cigar, but
Yeah.
cutting that tip off is the best.
And that's a great beginner one, too, because it's a perfect cut every time, no matter what.
Have you all ever used the scissor guillotine? I'm a big fan of those.
Those nights are just super stupidly expensive for no reason.
Oh, agreed, agreed. But easier to sharpen.
Yes,
And
they're
they
great
have-
versatility, and they look nice. They're usually very beautiful, and they even have ones in the style of a knife
Yep.
that has an indent into the base of the blade, and guillotines, and it's multi-use.
We had this guy come into one of the cigar shops we all frequent, and he had a knife-based cutter. And it was specifically designed to cut cigars. And it opens up, it was Damascus
Yeah.
with a wood handle.
Beautiful.
The thing was sharp as I'm telling you, it was sharper than a razor. And I was like, man, I'd love to add that to my repertoire.
Oh, yeah.
Let me find the website. 200, nope.
Oh yeah. Now there are guys that just make those.
Yes.
I know someone who just makes that's all he does, and he just makes them and sells them.
Yeah.
Damascus, all those gorgeous. Yeah, they're all two.
Yeah,
three,
my buddy at
$4.
work has one, and he absolutely enjoys it. I don't know where he got it from or how much he spent on it, but I put my hands on it. Actually, not.
No?
No. But I think he had done through a friend that gets some made and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
it's a beautiful thing to use. It
Yeah.
works perfectly. It's super sharp, and it's easy to sharpen just like a normal,
Yeah,
normal
'Cause
blade.
it's a knife.
It's normal
Yeah, it's a knife. Yeah.
One of my friends here,
You don't
Bronson, he actually has a.
We're his only friends.
It's a Camacho knife that on the inside of the handle
Like
has a
Camacho
circle.
makes it?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And on the
Nice.
inside of the circle of the handle, because it's all metal, is a hole to put your cigar so you can close it. It's a normal
Nice.
pocket knife that has that built
Oh, I
in.
want that so bad.
I know.
I'm
me
such a
too.
Camacho fanboy anyway.
I know. They will bring
They
back
are
the
awesome.
Camacho.
Yes, they
people.
will.
They will.
Bring back the.
we just need to have the rep on here to try to convince them
Let's do it.
and beg them.
Wasn't it you and I? We did a great job trying to convince him last time. Oh.
Yes.
He
He's
had,
come on.
it was the rep and like his boss with him.
Oh, let's do it.
Oh,
again.
yeah.
Have him on again.
Because
Let's go.
he was like, I told you they need to bring it back. He was like agreeing with us because he's probably been harping it himself.
The only reason why he started this podcast was so he can, have a bigger reach of his Camacho Candela,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Once
It's
it comes
to
out,
get
we're
the things
closing this
we
podcast.
want.
Yeah, we're done. Yeah.
Once the Camacho Candela comes out, we're doing a review. We're closing it down.
shutting it
We're
down.
done.
Yeah.
We won.
We're selfish assholes. We want the stuff for us.
That's right.
We have a petition.
Tell no one else
We
about it.
can be bought. Okay.
We're starting
actually-
a petition today.
Yeah.
I bought the last box that was here whenever they were going out. I
That
bought
would
the
be
very last
hilarious.
box.
Though. Like sign the petition.
Yeah.
in
My
the
Venmo's
comments.
down
I was just about to say, if you want to see the Camacho Candela come back, type that into the comments as many times as you possibly want
Yes.
to, and put that in there, and I will forward this over to the
Right.
rep.
Alongside your favorite cut to use for your cigars too.
There you go.
Add that into your comments as well.
And the libation that you're drinking. Was there anything else you wanted to discuss?
Well, I would like to discuss actually is like, what is the perfect cut in your opinion on certain styles of cigars, like a Lancero or something like that?
Yeah, that's a great one because I have tried a abnormally small, like what this one is, an
Yeah.
abnormal
Mhm.
small
Yeah.
punch on it. Can't say I enjoyed it.
Can't do it.
It was just, it doesn't work right for me. The only thing besides a guillotine I've used on a Lancero that works is a shallow V. That's it.
I think what I do is the guillotine actually on a Lancero. I think it
Same.
works the best.
Same.
Honestly, it because of how small ring gauge it is, to get even the shallow V, you have to be careful because you go too deep on it. Just go with a guillotine. You're going to save yourself a lot of trouble, but it still acts the same as a punch. Honestly, on those type of cigars.
Yeah.
I do the same thing.
Yeah.
Guillotine.
So we're all like, all over the board then.
Kind
Guillotine be because I mean, I
But
agree,
I'm probably
I
going
agree
to go
with
with the
you.
guillotine on that one.
It's
I'm
really
gonna go
hard to
with
put a
V.
punch
I
in
usually
there.
go with a V. I've done a punch before. It's but it, like you said, it
It'll
does
tear
work
up the cap
sometimes.
and
Sometimes it
it's
doesn't. It just depends on how big the Lancero is. But
Yeah.
if it is a really skinny Lancero, it's going to be
Like
long.
I admire you for doing a V cut on a figurado
Yeah.
like that because I don't typically do that. I've never had great success with
That's
it.
all I ever do on those.
I always just do an angled guillotine on it, not a straight guillotine. So not a 90 degree or a perpendicular.
Well, why would
I
you do
would-
the angle instead of just a straight?
Well, the interesting part about that is if you look at the cigar, right, and you do an angle on it, so basically like a 30 degree,
Sure.
40 degree angle on it, it allows you to go, you know what, instead of pulling the smoke directly in, I can turn it and shift the smoke up or down, left or right, which, because for me, I smoke so much, I can kind of get burned out a little bit,
Yeah.
or the roof of my mouth may get a little bit dry.
Yeah.
I can channel it down. As well
That's
as
smart.
channeling it down and then raising my tongue to the roof of my mouth. Instead of the smoke hitting the top of my tongue, I hit right up underneath and then let it come around and hit the taste buds on the side of the mouth.
Yeah, you get more taste buds on that.
So it allows for a more dynamic angle for you to choose from.
Right, that makes more sense.
Never done that. That's very cool. I'm gonna try that next time.
And then with the box press.
Box presses for me is always going to be deep V.
Yep.
Deep V and box press
I
every day
think
of the
that's
week.
okay. So we're all in the same boat then. I
Yeah.
think, 'cause
Yes.
every time I get a box press, I've done a punch on it, like a mid-sized punch
Yeah.
on it, and I think it's good.
Yeah, it's
But
okay.
I've really been enjoying a V cut going, long ways. If it's a rectangle size one,
Yep.
long ways.
It's just like super funnels it because it's already a box press. So like super funnels it.
We had this discussion, I don't know if we had it on air with Eric Parkinson or off air, but I was doing the comparison of the reason I think either box press or Cuban box press, which technically these Oliva V Melanios are Cuban box presses. Does anybody know the difference?
Please tell
The
me.
Cuban gun did
Please tell me.
it. Cuban gun box president
So a box press is
smoking
gonna
a
have,
Cuban while he did it.
is going to have hard edges. You can
Okay.
see it. It's like
You
in
can
the,
see
in the
the
Aroa
square.
20th year.
Yeah.
It has hard edges. A Cuban box press has soft edges, but it's still box press. It's still that. So these are technically Cuban box presses. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments.
Has anybody ever tried, cutting in V cut the short way instead of long ways on the rectangle?
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever tried.
I didn't like it.
You don't like it?
It's-
I don't think I've ever tried it.
It works, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
It does change the flavor.
Changes the
It
flavor.
does. It changes what you actually draw.
Oh, so the reason I was saying the difference between the two was I am under firm belief, I have nothing truly to back it except my own experience, is that if you get a cigar that is the round cigar versus a box press, the box press is going to have more flavor. Simply because I think that when they squish the cigar into the box press,
It compacts the tobacco.
it compacts the tobacco and it creates avenues where air can't get to, so that when the light goes down the cigar, it's lighting fresh tobacco that's never been charred, never been hit with anything. It's brand new. So you're getting hits of flavor from the original light at every point in it. That's the reason I
And
like
you'll
box
also
press.
notice, at least this
Or
is again
full
we're
box presses.
talking
not
about
Cubans.
anecdotal, just like what I've experienced. box presses don't canoe as bad because, what you said, they don't have the extra angles and places for air to go.
Right.
So that's exactly right.
Now this is all theory. It's
Oh,
not.
yeah,
it's
it's
nothing
just our
written down
experience.
in
This
text
is all
anywhere.
facts. What are you talking about?
I mean, this is facts like to me.
Facts don't care about your feelings.
That's right.
But no, this I think as much as we smoke box press cigars, this is what we found after smoking the counterpart to it, which is a normal like figurado or whatever. It's just it's overall has a better flavor, better experience overall. So if you have to go for any of them, I go for the box press.
Yep.
9 times out of 10.
9 times exactly. If that's the one you have to choose from,
Those are facts.
It'd be fun. It'd be interesting to see if they try to do like a box press with a Lancero, if that's even possible.
I've seen it. Yeah.
Have you?
Placencia makes one.
Really? Have you had it?
Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Yes, but it's that red labeled one I don't particularly like. But
I do.
I have had other ones that do that, and they're not
Well,
bad.
since it has that with the like the almost like the hexagonal,
Yes,
octagonal one or whatever it is.
which is a very honorable mention. That is
It's a
spectacular.
fantastic cigar.
Six
If,
toe and
if they're
602.
seasoned right, they have to be seasoned right because tend to be. They don't do well inside of a humidor. You have to let them sit in there for a little while, soak it a little bit more, for it to be a more enjoyable stick. I found from personal experience.
But think about what I was talking about box press with Padron. Majority of them are box press. Majority of them
Yeah.
are box press or Cuban box press. The ones that aren't are typically rarer because that's the way they do it. And that was my first step into the theory of that's why box press is better. Because if they're doing it for a reason.
Yep.
And then EP Carrillo, that's all they do too.
Yep.
Typically is box press, and I
Right.
think theirs is one of my favorite brands.
That's why I think this leads a lot of credence to box press being better.
And it's also a better mouthfeel. Like if you're smoking a cigar, it's more natural to have a box press cigar in your mouth instead of a large gauged cigar.
You speak from experience.
Yeah, I do.
All the things you've had in your
I do.
mouth. All
Yeah.
the round things you've had in your mouth.
Right.
Okay. Just wondering.
We got a problem with it?
Not at all.
That's what I thought.
No, but I do agree with you. Though. I mean, I think a box press is. and
It
then
fits in the hand
The
better.
craziest
It's more
one though that
comfortable.
I've never we kind of stumbled upon was that wafer. So that really
Oh
really
yes,
thin
the
box
wafer
ones.
thin cigars.
Dude, those
What is that?
Yes.
I don't know
It's
if I've
like
had this one.
imagine a box press, but
Okay.
it's way thinner, like a probably like a quarter of the size of a normal box press.
It's
Oh, wow.
very
And
narrow.
I mean, it's in
Really?
your mouth like just like
It's a Java, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
You got one?
Yeah, I do. I have one for example. Right here. Here's a wafer.
Oh my goodness.
Right.
Yes.
So what
Oh,
he's
and it's a
holding-
Java. Yeah, you
Describe it to us, the size and shape of it,
That's
Daniel.
It is about
American 8 inches. Right?
American 8 inch.
It's about as tall as this slider right
Yeah, it's a
here.
normal 4-inch right there. Yep, it's exactly. Yep. And it is a rectangle. Like it literally is.
It's a rectangle.
Yeah.
It's pretty thin. I say it's about as
It's like a
a little bit thinner than a
pencil.
pencil. And it's,
Yeah.
it is more of it's a flavor type cigar, but without being like a full on flavor cigar. It has very rich coffee notes to it.
Yeah, it's
it
chocolate and
is a
coffee.
quick smoke. It is very enjoyable.
Oh, you're done with this in 15 minutes.
Like if you want a short car ride or you have a small short break at work and you want to smoke a cigar without having to
This is it.
I've
buy a
actually
big cigar.
talking about
These.
cuts though. I've done a V cut on that. Just the middle section of it.
Yeah,
just
do it
cut
right there.
out. Yep.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
And it actually was pretty nice. I actually liked it.
Now we have gotten lucky on these as far as purchasing these. We got them on a crazy good deal, but they're typically around $8 a stick.
I
Honestly,
think it's like 6. But yeah, it's
I looked it up
lot.
recently.
Where'd you get them?
Oh really?
Cigars International.
I love it. Love it when
They,
they
they had a
do.
deal. They had a deal, so we can't pass it up. Came with a big box. It's like
They're
40.
so
I don't see many shops
It,
selling
it's
those.
great. They don't sell them a lot, but they should. Honestly, if you're a cigar shop somewhere or supplier, highly recommend putting this in your shop because they will sell. Because I have a guy at work that I introduced
Put
them to.
them near the freaking
And
register.
the guy I gave him to him at work actually gave it to his daughter because she does
She was
a lot
five.
of she does a lot of businesses. She does a lot of business with some higher end people that like to smoke and go on outings and stuff like that. But she wanted to be included in it, and she likes to smoke because her father smokes a lot of cigars. So she already has experience with cigars, but she doesn't like a big cigar. It takes her hours. She doesn't want that. So I said, hey, try this Java. You'll enjoy it better. It's a sweeter note. She'll probably like it. And he bought 10 off of me.
Nice.
Because she enjoyed them so much. She gave me
Nice.
her regular smoke. So highly recommend it.
So there you go. We got to get a good tasting note on the Square RUM 2010.
It's fantastic.
We got to
Thank
smoke these Melanio Vs, which are fantastic
Oh,
cigars.
absolutely.
Gone through the cutters, what they do, what you like.
you. What they
Now,
don't do.
you're going to notice that our general trends are wide mouth punch and deep Vs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Try all of them. first before you make a
try 'em
decision.
all.
And whatever you prefer is what you prefer.
Right.
If you like a straight or whatever, that's the
If you like it gay, it is what it is.
Good Lord.
Anyway, we appreciate you guys listening, watching. Remember, hit the reviews, especially on Spotify and Apple. Please leave us a review on it, good or bad. We really don't care. Algorithms.
We're gonna do it regardless, but
Yeah, we're gonna do it anyway.
But yes, like the video on YouTube and other places, Rumble, wherever it might be on. Leave a comment of
Comment again.
comment.
Juice it.
Yes, juice the algorithm. But put down below what your favorite type of cut is on your cigar. And what was the other thing we wanted to leave in the comments?
The Camacho
Camacho
Candela.
Candela, bring
That
it back.
say that you would like to sign the petition to bring back
Petition.
We love petitions.
to bring back the Camacho Candela, and I will combine all of that and put them together and send it to the rep so that he can be nagged even more.
Yes.
To bring that one back. And believe you me,
Do it.
if I can make it happen where this show gets the first remakes of them and we can do
I would
it,
cry.
I am going to do it.
I would
So
weep.
stay tuned. We have a lot of interesting connections here that have allowed a lot of different things,
Yes.
as you can tell from our entire My Father month +1. Which
Oh, that +1. Oh, so good.
ooh, that was, and which may lead to a +2 coming here really soon because PCA. This is already ended at this point, so this video is going to come out much later. So you may already be in the bucket by then. You may have already seen that episode because I may push it ahead of everything else.
You never know.
Because it's so special.
That's right. All the links are down below in the link tree. You'll see everything. Please join our Discord. It's the Archifier Studios Discord, and that joins with the Whiskey Tobacco Fellowship. And we talk a bunch of things on there. This is Smokey the Baron.
Thank you.
You almost, yep, you were good. You were on cue, but it's not the right cue. Sir Metal Knight, Bailey and the Lion. I'm Archifier, and Josh, Devin, Garth, Daniel. And then our honorable mention in the audience.
The Peanut Gallery himself.
The Peanut Gallery himself. Thanks for showing up, buddy. We appreciate you.
The other Eric.
The other area, I said the other
It
area.
was crappy today, but it was good.
There you go.
There you
got
go.
it.
It's incredibly smoky, so we'll leave it from there. I think that's about it.
Yeah.
That's it.
So we'll see you guys on the next exciting adventure. That was really corny. Of
Whiskey.
Tobacco
Fellowship.
Cheers. Cheers.
You know how you
That
solve
was my
that?
last sip.
That was wrong.
You always have to add